Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to what's been happening around the NFL lately, especially in the AFC North, you know that the Cleveland Browns are not just sitting still. They're actively shaping their future, and recent events have sparked conversations among fans, analysts, and even opponents about where this team is headed. And I'm telling you, what's happening right now could be a turning point, a moment that defines the Browns' trajectory for seasons to come. Let's rewind a little and look at what's been happening with the Browns' defense, a unit that has been getting a lot of attention this season. We all know how important the defensive front is in today's NFL, and Cleveland's front four has been absolutely dominant at times. Myles Garrett, the powerhouse defensive end wearing number 95, has been a force of nature. Recently, Garrett made headlines not just for his play on the field, but also for a very candid comment after a tough game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if you follow the Browns closely, you know that Garrett is not one to hold back, and this time he really laid into a veteran quarterback from the Steelers, Joe Flacco. This wasn't just some casual criticism. It was a pointed remark that really got fans talking. Garrett said he couldn't handle the pressure. And that's a pretty strong statement, especially coming from someone as respected as Garrett. But if you watched that game, you saw exactly what he was talking about. The Steelers' offensive line and defense combined to put relentless pressure on Flacco, and he just couldn't find his rhythm. It was clear that Cleveland's defense was not just playing well, but they were executing a game plan that exploited Flacco's vulnerabilities, making life miserable for him all game long. Garrett's comments highlight something critical about the Browns' defense. They're not just good. They're aggressive, disciplined, and relentless when it comes to applying pressure. And that's a big problem for any quarterback, especially one like Flacco, who's seasoned but not necessarily mobile or quick to adapt under duress. The Browns' defensive strategy, which has been a blend of pressure packages and disciplined coverage, paid off big time in that game. Garrett, along with the rest of the defensive line, was constantly in Flacco's face, forcing hurried throws and bad decisions. That's the kind of defense that can turn games around, and the Browns are developing a reputation for being able to do exactly that. Now I want you to pause here for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. What does all this mean for the Browns moving forward? Well, for starters, it signals that Cleveland's defense isn't just a good unit. It's a nightmare for quarterbacks trying to get comfortable in the pocket. Garrett's leadership on the line and his fiery attitude set the tone for what this defense can do when they're firing on all cylinders. But it's not just about one game or one player. The Browns are building a team that can dominate in the trenches, and that's a crucial aspect if they want to make a real Super Bowl run. And speaking of quarterback play, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Browns have been searching for stability at that key position for a while now. Deshaun Watson, who was acquired a few seasons ago with high expectations, has been a central figure in their plans. When Watson is healthy and playing at his best, the Browns are a completely different team. His ability to extend plays, make accurate throws, and operate under pressure is a game changer. But consistency has been an issue, and that's where the criticism and the scrutiny come in. Right now, the Browns are in a crucial phase of their season. They need Watson to bounce back from some ups and downs and show that he can lead this team deep into the playoffs. And if the defense continues to perform at this level, Cleveland could become one of the most feared teams in the AFC. The AFC North is a fierce division. You've got the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers all fighting tooth and nail every week. But the Browns are positioning themselves as serious contenders, especially when they can rely on a defense that can stifle opposing offenses like they did against Pittsburgh. Now, let's delve into the impact of these recent events on the division. The Steelers, for example, are a team that's always a threat, but their offensive line has shown some cracks this season. Flacco's struggles in that game highlighted how important it is for Pittsburgh to protect their veteran quarterback, better if they want to keep pace in a division that's getting more competitive every week. Meanwhile, The Ravens have been flying high with a strong, balanced team that can run and throw effectively. The Bengals, on the other hand, are trying to bounce back from some early season struggles, but they have the talent and the coaching staff to turn things around quickly. This dynamic makes the AFC North one of the most exciting divisions in the league right now. Every game is a battle, and the Browns are clearly making a statement that they're here to compete at the highest level. Their defense, led by Garrett and others, is evolving into a unit that can carry the team when the offense needs a boost. And that's exactly the kind of team you want when you're chasing a Super Bowl title. Their ability to disrupt, pressure, and physically dominate opponents is a blueprint that many other teams in the league are starting to learn from. But it's not just about the defense. The Browns' roster, especially on offense, has some promising pieces. Nick Chubb continues to be one of the best running backs in the league, providing a powerful ground attack that keeps defenses honest and opens up passing lanes for Watson and the receivers. The offensive line has also been solid, giving Watson enough time to make decisions and extend plays. With this combination of a dominant defensive front and a versatile offense, Cleveland is positioning itself as a team that can beat anyone on any given Sunday. Looking ahead, fans are naturally eager to see how this team responds to the challenges coming up. The schedule doesn't get any easier, and every game will be a test of their resilience, depth, and mental toughness. But what's clear is that the Browns are no longer just a team trying to find their identity. They are actively creating one, built around a fierce defense, a dynamic offense, and a culture of relentless competition. If Garrett and his teammates keep playing with that fire, and Watson can find consistency, the sky's the limit. As we analyze the bigger picture, it's worth mentioning that Cleveland's management has been proactive. They've made smart moves in the draft and free agency, bringing in players who fit their scheme and culture. The coaching staff, led by their head coach, is focused on maximizing the strengths of this roster and making strategic adjustments week to week. That kind of organizational stability and vision is crucial when aiming for the top of the league. And let's not forget the history of this franchise. The Browns have always been a team with a passionate fan base, a deep-rooted football culture, and a hunger for success. The recent performances and comments from Garrett show that this team has a chip on its shoulder, a desire to prove doubters wrong and to etch their name in the NFL's elite. The AFC North is a battleground, but Cleveland is emerging as a team that could dominate it for years if they stay the course. Now wrapping up, it's impossible to ignore how all these pieces fit together. Garrett's fiery words, the team's defensive dominance, the ongoing quest for offensive consistency, and the division's fierce competition. It all points to a Browns team that is not just competing but trying to assert their dominance. They're showing that they're here to stay and that they have the talent and the mindset to make a real run. The road to the Super Bowl is never easy, but with a defense like Garrett's leading the charge, and an offense that's growing stronger each week, Cleveland fans have every reason to be excited about what's ahead. So, Browns fans, keep your eyes on this team. The season is still young, and if the recent games have taught us anything, it's that Cleveland is a team that refuses to back down. The energy is high, the passion is real, and the potential is enormous. This is the kind of team that can turn a good season into something legendary with just a little more consistency and a lot of heart. The AFC North better watch out because Cleveland is coming, and they're not just here to participate, they're here to dominate. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's go Browns.